Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Entertainment Expansion. We are your hosts, Tyler Callahan and Mike Ferrante. Mike, how you doing?
Well, as always, Tyler, I'm pleased to say I am back and I am chilling like a villain on some cheap penicillin.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear. I would be chilling on some video game announcements if there were any.
That's a fucking fact, my friend. Let me tell you, the most anticlimactic press conference we've ever fucking had.
I hear how COVID kind of fucked over the game industry, and they kind of got away with it last year. Ooh, did we see it this year? Did we see it this
Oh,
year?
yeah.
So yeah, E3 supposed to be Christmas in the summer for gamers. There's no games coming out, but all the announcements of games for the next 2 or 3 years get you hyped up. And PlayStation's still no show.
Thanks,
The only
Sony.
one who decided to show up is Xbox and Nintendo. They realized they had to do something, and all the smaller publishers just basically sat in the corner and did nothing.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll just talk about it and give our opinions on some of the bigger news coming out of this. So starting with Xbox, I will say they had the best show they've had in years.
Well, that's good considering they're the only ones to show anything.
Yes, I mean the bar is pretty low when your only competition at this point is Nintendo, but hey, it's the best show they've had in years, partially because they bought Bethesda, so Bethesda is now officially part of the Xbox gaming press event.
And that's a big power move right there.
Yeah, 7.5 billion, and Bethesda for the past few years used to have their own event right after Xbox. So, Starfield, we finally got a trailer for Starfield, the first new Bethesda IP in 25 years.
Jesus.
And it will not be coming out until next November, assuming there's no delay. I think it's interesting. The trailer looks great, but we'll see what the final product looks like. As always with Bethesda games, they always look pretty on announcement, and then final release is a bit buggy.
Fallout 76. Sorry,
Well, there's a little buggy, as in Fallout 4, and there's 76, which is an infestation.
Yeah, sorry, I'm fighting this cold here. But yeah, I'm a fan of Bethesda. I think they do pretty good work a lot of the time. Fallout 76 not included. But yeah, they're a big name in open world games. And I'm a fan of open world games. I'm a fan of the freedom of it, the exploration of it. So as long as this game provides all of that without any of the bugs, Fallout 76, I think it could be good.
My last opinion on Starfield will be this. I hope it is amazing because they're taking the time with it. I hope it's expansive and huge, and we need a lot of time in it because this game comes out next year. It's going to be another 3 to 4 years before Elder Scrolls comes out. And then we have another 3 to 4 year wait for Fallout 5, assuming it doesn't move to another studio. So this game better be worth the wait.
Yeah. But then again, I'm more than happy to wait for a game that is fully completed and is not going to give me any issues playing Cyberpunk.
Oh, it's 76?
No, it was Cyberpunk that time. Because, yeah, we all know the issues with Cyberpunk. Everyone was hyped for the fucking game. The game dropped. The game was completely shit. The game was not finished. So we don't want to see that happen again, especially with Bethesda, because Bethesda does do great work. And I don't want to see their name get dragged in the dirt more than it has to. Fallout 76.
I never thought a gaming launch could be so bad post 76, and then Cyberpunk's like, "Oh, we got you.
It's like, hold my beer. Hold my beer."
Hey, Bethesda, you didn't get delisted from the PlayStation Store due to refunds. You didn't. We did.
Yeah. So yeah, as long as everything goes right, I'm okay with a game taking a little bit more time to iron out the details.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, if we're still excited to play the game and it's going to get released a little bit later, that's fine as long as the game plays well and works.
Well, speaking of giving a game extra time, let's move over to the next big game showing off, which is Halo Infinite. Now, this was supposed to come out last November with the launch of the Series X. However, last E3, when we saw the campaign demo and the questionable design choices and how it looked, they decided they needed an extra year, and I would say the extra year has paid off.
That's good. It kind of seems like they took the Sonic approach where they released the first trailer and everyone's like, what the fuck is this bullshit?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, okay, hold on. We'll fix this.
Yeah. And a lot of it's not like the Master Chief still looks great. His design has never been wrong with this new game. But it's like how some of the brutes looked and the lighting and the textures in the world, that seems to be a fix now. Multiplayer, that looks clean as fuck. I do wonder how big that's going to be with it being free to play for the multiplayer. I'm curious how sales are going to be for the actual game. It's going to be on Game Pass, so that will affect it. And you're going to be paying $60 just for a campaign. So I'm curious.
It's a pretty steep price for just a campaign.
Yeah, I do wonder like how big the campaign will be, because the Infinite Multiplayer is going the Warzone route. It's free to play for anyone. So as of now, no Battle Royale mode. They haven't discussed it. It's always been rumored, but right now that's not the case. Big Team Battle apparently is going to go to, I think, 12v12, if not a little bigger. So some of the game modes again bigger. The grappling hook, very interesting mechanic. I'm curious how it'll work in multiplayer. They've already shown you can hijack an aerial vehicle with it, which I think is interesting. And the red and blue teams are gone. They got rid of them completely, because this is how you monetize a free game, is armor customization.
Naturally.
So even in team modes, everyone will have their own unique set of armor. And I will say, unlike Halo 5 armor, which was kind of gaudy, these look clean. So far. We'll see. We'll see 3 seasons in.
Yeah, it's gonna get a little buck wild.
And for as much shit as me and a lot of people have given 343 Industries, and a lot of it well deserved, for the battle pass future of the games, multiplayer games, the fact that you'll be able to buy old battle passes, I think, is fantastic, and it's a smart idea to keep people in.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with that, because especially if you've played the Call of Duty battle passes, it's kind of like a race against the clock. You gotta beat it within a certain amount of time, otherwise you're not gonna be able to get any of the cool stuff that's in the battle pass. So the fact that you can purchase older battle passes and work on those and still get some XP is kind of a nice touch.
Yeah, like how annoying do you think like Warzone blew up last year? You're getting people joining in Warzone now, and they see like the old Ghost skins, or all the other skins from Modern Warfare, right? All those previous seasons, knowing that you can't get them ever because the battle pass is gone. Like you would think Activision, who loves money so much, would do a special like throwback battle pass and put them on the store for some COD points.
Yeah, you wish.
That's free money right there, but I know it's a good idea. Still no solid release date. Still holiday 2021. Kind of has me a little worried if it gets delayed, but at this point, it's almost 6 years since Halo 5. If I gotta wait a few more months, fuck it.
Yeah, like it goes back into what I was saying previously. If you gotta wait a little bit longer for a game you're excited about, it's not that big a deal as long as the game comes out good.
Exactly.
Because I'd rather pay top dollar for a game that works than pay top dollar for a game that has a ton of fucking flaws.
Yeah. And then your game disc is just sitting there collecting dust as you wait for them to release updates. It's a waste of money. So another game coming out this fall for Xbox, which actually has a release date, Forza Horizon 5 is coming out, this time set in Mexico, and it's basically what it seems like. It's a prettier version of the previous ones. You have all the cars. I saw a new Bronco is in it now from Ford.
That's despicable.
But I did notice there is a game mode editor, so you can make your own game modes as well. So
that's interesting.
Yeah, they haven't had that before, and I saw one of them they teased in the trailer was a basically bowling. Like you'd have giant bowling pins, and you have to drive through them. So I think people get creative and share their game modes.
Yeah, I mean that sounds like a lot of fun. Listen, as a PlayStation player, the one game any PlayStation player is always kind of like, fuck, I wish I had an Xbox. It's the fucking Forza games. The Forza games have always been great. They've always been a good time. The way you can customize the cars and drive the cars are always very realistic. Even though you can, drop some crazy shit into it, it's still more of a realistic game than, any Need for Speed would ever be. So I'm excited for the new Forza. might make me want to buy another Xbox or an Xbox at all.
Depending on their xCloud, you might not need to with their xCloud Game Pass combo.
Yep, that might
Could
be
be
another
playing it on your
interesting
TV.
thing.
Yeah. But no, look,
Just need a
growing up playing games, I've always hated racing games. Could never get into them. Like the proper simulation, Gran Turismo, proper Forza, Forza Horizon with 3 set in Australia. That's the one that made me fall in love with racing games. Now I still haven't played the other ones, but this kind of racing game, I have no problem buying. Like I trust this team. They did great with 3, great with 4. It looks like they're going to do great with 5.
Yeah, Forza, they're kind of like Capcom in the later years. It's hard for them to kind of fuck up.
Yeah. I mean, the studio specifically behind the Horizon series, they've gotten very important for Xbox. When they're not working on this, they have another studio now working on the new Fable game. They're bringing that franchise back.
Yeah, because what I like about Forza, similar to Capcom, is they stick with what works, but they also just make it better.
Mm.
Which
they don't do stupid shit.
Yeah, they're not just like, oh yeah, let's change the whole fucking tone of the game. It's like, all right, let's stick with this. This works, but let's just kind of amplify it a little bit.
Exactly.
And that's the way to make a good fucking game. You change the formula just enough to make people feel like they're playing the same game, but you keep it interesting.
Yeah, that's actually set for November. October, November is definitely going to be jam-packed with games, clearly, as it is most years. We did get to see some Battlefield gameplay. It looks good. Like, it does look really good. It looks like Battlefield 4. My concern is they're not clear on how many game modes they're going to be at launch. There's no campaign. If there is a Battle Royale mode, it's not until next spring. So, I don't know.
See,
$70 for 7 maps and at least 1 game mode?
see, this is where I'm kind of drawing the line a little bit because I'm a fan of, war games and stuff like that. What I'm not too big a fan of is future war games. If you want a future war game, you play some of the Halo games. Maybe not a lot of the newer ones, but
I
you
mean, all
play
right,
the
hold
Halo
on. I mean,
games,
yes, it's 20 years in the future from where we are now. However, looking at the trailer, a lot of the weapons are kind of modern warfare.
which
Like, this ain't
is
Infinite Warfare and this ain't Halo.
which is good to some extent. But at the same time, if you're, playing a game and you're using a jetpack and shit like that, like it's just not really that fun. At least for me. I'm not really too big onto the whole future warfare shit. There's a lot of good wars we can still cover in video games. Everyone really forgets the fucking Vietnam War. The Vietnam War was a insane fucking war that no one fucking covers because we lost.
Some of the better levels in Cold War were the Vietnam levels, but
Yeah, and in Black Ops
yeah.
was the Vietnam levels. Why do you think that is? Because the Vietnam fucking war was an insane war. Yes, it was fucked. Yes, we lost, but are we really going to just keep going back and forth with the World War II shit? Like, come on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for Battlefield, but I need to see a bit more because also on
Yeah,
top of the $70 for
I
the
agree.
no battle royale, there will be a battle pass you have to pay for on top of it. So now you're looking at $80 for your first few months, and it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's kind of another
Yeah,
pain in the ass. Like, especially with war games, like Call of Duty, stuff like that, you also need to have a good story mode. Because I don't know about you, Tyler, but what got me into the Call of Duty games was the story mode.
same here. I mean, look, Battlefield's strong suit was never the stories. Case in point, one of their best stories is Hardline, and that wasn't even made by them. It's from a
Yeah,
different
true.
studio. So I'm
Hardline is
fine dropping
one of the
campaign,
greatest stories I've
but
ever
then I want
played.
a battle royale mode. I want 10 maps. I want more content. It just seems like you're cutting content, and I'm not getting more value out of it.
Correct. It's kind
So
of like an EA situation.
yeah, well, it's an EA game. So what do you think?
You know what? That actually makes a lot of fucking sense, doesn't it?
So that's basically all the big games that we got more details about. They were
But
definitely quiet on what the rest of the studios they've bought are working on. It seems like from what I saw, we won't hear from them until next year. But did it finish off on the biggest announcement? A mini fridge.
yeah,
It's gonna be a hot item for the holidays.
Yeah. So here's where I'm gonna call some shit on. So I thought that was a joke until they released that. What would have been a lot fucking cooler if it was a mini fridge that had an Xbox Series X built into it. So it was kind of like a 2-in-1 type of deal, because that would be sick as fuck. But no, it's literally just a mini fridge that looks like an Xbox.
Yeah, but you can put it next to your Xbox. Two little
Fuck.
Xbox buddies.
Who the fuck cares?
Hey, look. Xbox won a Twitter marketing poll and beat Skittles. Okay, they owe it to the fans to make more of this.
Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. No one cares.
Hey, if it's under
It
$200,
is
I'm gonna try and buy one.
it is
So
not going to be under $200.
I mean, it's a mini fridge, not an actual fridge.
We're talking about Microsoft here, Tyler. You can't even buy Word for under $200
No, you can for like $8 per month. All right,
per month. How much does
per
that come
month.
out to? How much does that
Well,
come out to a year?
how many months is that to make it $200?
It's more than a year, yes, but regardless,
All right. Well, look, we're gonna have to agree to disagree on the fridge. I thought it was pretty cool.
yeah, it's cool looking, but I think you can't deny that it would be a lot cooler if it was also an Xbox Series X
Yes.
built
Yes.
into the mini fridge.
Yes. I think that would be
Because
cooler.
that's a fucking game changer if I've ever seen one. That is a whole take my fucking money situation.
Who knows? Maybe they thought about it and then realized the you know complexity is too much for it.
Yeah, it probably is. But besides the games that were mentioned, let's talk about a couple games that weren't mentioned that we're both excited for. And please feel free in the comments below, direct message us, send us a comment on YouTube. We want some comments here. We really do. We want to respond to you guys. We want to have conversations with you guys about this. What games are you excited for that are coming out for the next gen consoles? So I'll start off here. An easy one is Gotham Knights. Yes, it is not made by the Rocksteady team, which has helmed the Arkham franchise, but it is being made by the same team who made Arkham Origins. And that game has been unfairly shit on for far too long.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it is still going to be a good game. It seems like it's a lot of fun, and the fact that you can kind of co-op is
Yeah.
pretty sick.
Yeah, I think it's a good pick. I am curious how the co-op will work. We need some more information, but from
Yeah.
what we saw, it does look pretty good.
I mean, it looks different enough to be interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, the combat's definitely going to be on point because regardless of what they said about Arkham Origins, the combat was still flawless.
Arkham Origins is a solid Batman game. Like
It is.
it really does get treated unfairly.
It does. I mean, yes, it didn't look as pretty as Rocksteady's Arkham games, but it was still a good game nonetheless. If it was not included within that franchise, it would have been considered an amazing game.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely excited for that game to come out. I'm also excited for Dying Light 2 because I was a big fan of the first one, the whole first-person free running in a zombie apocalypse thing. I think as long as they kind of build on that and improve, I think that'll also be another fun game to play.
Well, there's no delay. You'll be playing that in December, so you have that to look forward to.
Absolutely.
For me, kind of cheating because it's a PlayStation game, but one of them for me is God of War 2. Maybe I'll get a trailer in a few weeks whenever Sony wants to do their show. But yeah, I'm real curious how they take that story. Where do they go?
So let me ask you this, Tyler.
Mm-hmm.
You said God of War 2. We all pretend I'm stupid.
Mm-hmm.
We already have a God of War 2.
All right, fine. I guess I should give it its subtitle until they give it an official name, God of War Ragnarok.
Okay. So it is a sequel to the most recent God of War game, correct?
Yes. I would be really surprised if they call it God of War 2. They really should.
Yeah. Because, this is what, the 5th or 6th game in the franchise now?
It'd be 6th, I think. Yeah, 6th. But hey, we got, they teased us hard with Thor. It's going to fuck up Kratos.
Yep. And that'll be an interesting fight if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, we have that. Maybe we'll see Odin at some point.
Listen, I haven't seen Odin since Shit, Assassin's Creed Valhalla?
Oh, so last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for me, God of War, Ragnarok, and I guess, I don't know, that's the one I was looking forward to most. I mean, it's kind of cheating also to say GTA 6 because
Yeah, because
Rockstar, they do that
let's be honest,
whenever.
we're not going to get that for a while.
No, it's not that. It's just like Rockstar like never does E3 stuff. Whenever they
Yeah.
want to drop something, they will, and everyone pays attention immediately.
Yeah, because it's Rockstar.
Mm-hmm.
They are, no pun intended, they're rock stars in the gaming industry.
Yeah.
I mean, the only useless thing they've ever made was Red Dead Redemption 2 online. That was it. I mean, for the, I don't know, third consecutive generation, they're re-releasing GTA 5.
But it's all in getting us ready for GTA 6.
Listen, GTA 6 better be a combination of locations. If they're saying that from the early leaks and rumors, they're pretty much just rumors because nobody knows what the fuck is going on in the
No.
Rockstar station. No one fucking knows. They've got that shit locked down tighter than Area 51 because it's not government ran. But if it's a combination between Vice City, Los Santos, and Liberty City, that would be fucking sick. Like you could hop on a plane and travel to the different city. That would be awesome.
I think for online they might be doing that. I think the fact that they're spinning off online at the end of the year to its own thing, and the main thing for this release is to upgrade the graphics to the same level as Red Dead 2, makes me think they're trying to get online ready for the GTA 6 release.
Yes.
Because as of now, anything they do online, it's tied to GTA 5. If GTA Online now for the next 10 years will be its own thing, then you need to lay the groundwork. So yes, there's going to be the one more re-release, which is what we're getting this year.
Of course.
Now Liberty City, I don't know. You'd have to remake 4, but which
yeah, because
I wouldn't be against. I liked 4.
Yeah, 4 is possibly one of the best GTA games they've made.
I think 4 is underrated. A lot of people shit on 4, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, no, playing as, fucking Nico Bellic was awesome. Granted, the whole driving thing in 4 was kind of fucked.
Yeah. Driving cinder blocks.
Yeah, driving is definitely the worst thing about 4. GTA 5 definitely fucking fixed that. Without a doubt. But yeah, whenever Rockstar wants to help us out and throw us a GTA 6 trailer, that'd be greatly appreciated.
Shit, we don't have a GTA 5 trailer. We don't even know what GTA Online will look like at the end of the year.
LJT is now sending you emails instead of text messages.
No, he's sending you DMs in their version of Instagram.
Yeah. He's sending you direct messages from Life Invader, which is the Facebook.
Yes. I imagine if he sent you friend requests and you just deny and block his ass. Just be done with it.
I fucking wish. I'm tired of fucking seeing that guy on
my fucking messages. Here.
Jesus Christ. But that's enough about us. I think you guys have heard us bitch about Grand Theft Auto and pretty much what's coming out this year. What we want to know is, what are you guys excited about from the E3 presentation or what wasn't shown in E3? As always, feel free to let us know at entertainmentexpansion@outlook.com. If you don't want to be so formal, come on in and slide into our DMs. Our box is wide open for all of you. Or you can comment on our latest YouTube video. We respond to every single one of you that want to talk to us. As always, thank you for listening, and we'll see you next week.